This is the area where practitioners need the most work. So I'm going to go over step by step what to do during a muscle test. What you must do in any session is take the polarity by placing their left hand palm facing the sky on top of their head. Tell them to attach the ring finger to its thumb. Tell them to squeeze the two fingers tight but not use every drop of energy in their body. You will adjust their pressure accordingly, or your pressure accordingly. A muscle test is basically your strength versus your patient's. And the patient's fingers are too strong, and this could happen once in a while. If there's no way of getting those two fingers apart, then you must instruct the patient to connect the pinky to the thumb. The actual muscle test now looks like a pair of glasses that your hand is forming. Gripping their two fingers, now closing your entire fist around your patient, you begin to try and pull the patient's fingers apart. It is because of placing their left hand palm facing the sky on top of their head that this test was supposed to weaken their finger strength. They don't have to be touching the hair or scalp, but just as long as they are within 1 or 2 inches of the surface area. Tell them that you are going to muscle test the patient's other hand, and as best as they can do, the patient will try to keep his pinky, middle finger, and index fingers straight up in the air. Now, take the polarity again by placing their left hand, palm facing down on top of their head. The hand should now be strong, making it much more difficult to separate. You have a good judge of their strength, and you'll use that knowledge in upcoming tests. So what if their polarity is reversed? Should your polarity testing reverse the trend, or just not be that decisive when it comes to strong versus weak signs? So instruct the patient to open the hand and tap on the inside wrist and the closest side on the wrist for 20 seconds. Repeat this on the other hand. Take the polarity test, and this time there should be a definitely weak sign with the left hand's palm facing the sky on top of their head. It should be a definite strong sign with the left hand's palm facing down on top of their head. If it's still reversed, try the steps mentioned above one more time. If it's still reversed, try tapping on the patient's shoulder in the groove connecting the left shoulder and chest. It is just below the collarbone. You will repeat this, the test 2 times on the wrist to the 1 time on the shoulder for as long as they reverse their polarity. 95% of the time, they are reversed in the first tap on the wrist. If their polarity is all good, we can begin with the vial testing. Using one of the vials, instruct the patient to place it onto your right arm while doing the muscle test. Should the patient test weak, then the patient has an allergy to something the vial contains. Should the patient test strong, the patient's body likes whatever the vial contains, and we can bypass that vial. Okay, carrots for the first time testing. When doing it for the first time, test the body on whatever the patient came in to see us for. The patient should test weak. Then test the body on carrots, which should test strong. This gives the patient a good example of what should give a weak finger strength test versus what should give a strong finger strength test. You should ask the patient prior to the testing of the carrots, whether there's any allergy to carrots. Okay, generally we would like to test 10 to 15 substances, and if the patient brought in some of the samples for us to test, then we would test those as well.